Egyptology lovers. So we're going to put the Book of the Dead on the side for a couple of days because I want to work on something else. So I have several of these sheets which are 60 by 45 centimeters. What I'm going to do is cut them up in 6 pieces, and I'll tell you why. You can see over here, I already cut them up in 6 pieces, right? Like that. And I'm going to glue them next to each other. They're going to make about 3.5 meters long. So they're going to stretch out. They're going to be a roll. Why? Because we're going to draw in Hieratic, the secondary language of ancient Egypt, which is cursive, the Shipwrecked Sailor. It's going to basically expand the entire papyrus, and it's going to be rolled up. It was originally 3.5 meters. It's 12 centimeters, but I've made it 21 centimeters so I could see bigger hieroglyphs. And we're going to draw that entirety of it. Why the Shipwrecked Sailor? Well, it's a wonderful example of Middle Kingdom quality grammar, so stay tuned for that. Today we're going to show you how to glue papyrus. So this is a papyrus plant here. So I'm going to show you how to glue these two together. What you do is you take one end of the papyrus, you cover it up so you can get a nice glue line like that, and then you spray it. You spray it with a can of Super 77, the 3M, and let that dry for about 30 seconds or so. And then what you do is you take an additional page, and the next page is going to go on top of that, like that. See? So you're going to spray the bottom end of this, and then you're going to put it on there as well, waiting 30 seconds, and then that should glue together just fine. So the two glues on both sides should create the strong adhesive for both of them. So I'll show you when it's complete. Guys, so you can see here, the two sheets have been stuck together. You can see where they're seamed up together over here. So once you have that, then you just overlap it. You can see how it's overlapped. Overlap it and make sure that it sticks well. Give it a nice tug like that, and that's it. That's how you glue two pieces of papyrus together and you get a nice long sheet. You can do this with any papyrus. Bend over here, and then we spray this over here on this side, and then we flip it over and we glue them together that way. So that's how you do it. You spray that bottom front, you spray the back of this one, and then you flip it over and you glue it. Glue it like that. You get it aligned. That's how you do it. You can see how the papyrus is all glued together. So we're just rolling it up now, making sure it's nice and straight. And you're gonna see, this is now 3.5 meters, which is perfect for the papyrus itself, for the Shipwrecked Sailor, which we're gonna do. So stay tuned for that, guys. 3.5 meters looks like as a papyrus. It's 21 centimeters long, but you can see how thick it is. And that's gonna roll up. We're gonna start writing out our Shipwrecked Sailor. Welcome back, Egyptology lovers. Today we are just making the papyrus scroll here. We're gonna use it to draw or write out the story of the Shipwrecked Sailor. The Shipwrecked Sailor is written in hieratic form. This is a language that grew up or was created alongside hieroglyphs during the 4th dynasty in order to write quickly. It was used for basically just administrative purposes. Now, the hieratic is written here, and this particular story has 176 lines. And the story is a wonderful story that is written in the most eloquent Middle Egyptian language. So one of the most high-end, good quality grammatical structures that we'll see in the entire Shipwrecked Sailor. It's a very simple story, very, very simply written, but the grammatical sentences adheres to the Middle Egyptian style, which is notably the standard that we use for to study ancient Egyptian. So, without wasting too much time, what we're going to do is we're going to write out in red first. This is the indicator of a sentence of the story or the person who may be speaking, and then we move into the black marker. So I'm going to use a standard pen marker like this one here, the brush, and I'll have a black one as well to do for the black narrative writing. So what we're going to do is we're going to begin by drawing. We're going to start off by a sentence, and I'm going to do only 2 sentences here. They're going to overlap. Now, just because you have a column doesn't mean that that's one sentence. Sometimes sentences overlap over to the next column. So that's what you're going to see right now. So let's begin by writing the first word. And once I've written out this first sentence, I'll read it to you and explain it to you, and we'll move on to the second sentence. So the first sentence here is introducing the actual person who's speaking. This is not a particular person of importance at the moment, but we'll discuss it later as the story goes forward. So the first thing here I'm going to draw is the word spoke. Spoke is it's the word jidid, and it's basically a cobra that's written out like this. Like that. That's the first one. And then we're going to have a hand. Like that. So that's jidid. And that continues on again with in. In is a connector. And then we have the actual word coming up right now, the word follower. Follower. And we move on to the determinative of the follower, which is a sitting man. There we go. And that completes it. That's the end of this read. This introduces the person and what the person is saying. We'll move over now to the actual continuation of an adjective, which we'll describe to you shortly, and this will complete the sentence. And this is the, now this is approaching the next sentence, which I won't describe at the moment. And that completes the first sentence, the first two sentences for what you see over here. We're going to see if I'm going to make the second one. It's going to overlap over to the next one. So, and I'm just opening up some information here. Okay, so the next one's going to overlap and it's going to continue on with this word here. And this continues in black for the sentence. This is a noun. I'll explain it to you shortly. Now this is going to be a suffix pronoun. I'm going to give it a little more thickness as it wants to be. That's the suffix pronoun right there. And we're going to finish it off with the next three hieroglyphs, which are going to be over here. All right. And the last one here, as we did before. The same seated person as you see in red over here is going to be drawn over there. Like that. So this completes the two sentences, and I'm going to describe this to you right now. All right, Egyptology lovers, so I'm going to describe the two sentences that we have here. The first one is basically from over here all the way down to here. And then the next one follows over here, and it connects right over to the second column. And I'm drawing this or writing this just as the shipwrecked sailor looks like when you see the papyrus. So let's begin. The first sentence we're dealing with is a substantive sentence. Now, don't worry so much about the grammatical terminologies. I'm just trying to introduce you to how sentences and different aspects work with grammatical structure. So here we go. Again, the substantive sentence verb. So what you have is the word speak, but we have the word in, which creates the past tense. This is a marker that connects to the verb, which creates the word spoke. Here we have the noun shemes. Shemesu, sorry about that. Shemesu is basically means follower. And what you have here is the reed. Then you have a particular symbol that is for the word follow. And then you have a seated man. And that's the determinative right over there. Down here, you have the word ikar. Ikar is I with a rolling hill, with a reed rolling hill, and then the word R. And then you have a determinative for a papyrus plant. So this is the word excellent. So the sentence would be spoken as the excellent follower, since the adjective always follows the noun. So the excellent follower spoke. Remember, the connector with the creates the past tense. So excellent follower spoke. Now, one thing I want to say is that this adjective is considered an attributive adjective, and where it describes a quality of a noun. And that's what it does. It describes the quality. What kind of person is this? An excellent person. So that's your first sentence. Well, let's move over to the second sentence, which begins over here. Now, the first word here, this is the verb prosper. And over here you have the word heart. This is the symbol for heart with the stroke to indicate that this is a heart. This is the suffix pronoun you or your. And this is the word leader. And I'll get to this one in a bit. So what we have here is the word, starting off with the sentence, we have the word prosper. So in essence, this is what we call a prospective verb, or for the sentence. So we have the word prosper, and then we have heart and your. So how this would be read is as may, which is not indicated but assumed, may your heart prosper. So this verb is sort of a wish. This sentence itself is a wish. So the prospective sentence means is to wish upon something. So may your heart prosper. So we're wishing that the person's heart prospers. So may your heart prosper. And this is a word in itself connected to the sentence, leader. So that, or hati, this is the word hati. So it's to describe someone who is foremost, someone who's in command, hati. So, or it's like a captain or lieutenant and so on and so forth, like a title. So may your heart prosper, leader. And that's the two sentences. So I just want to give you an example of how these sentences work and how they're connected together. I'm going to continue drawing this out, but I won't really go through the details. You'll just see me drawing out the hieroglyphs and enjoy that as I go along. So that's a little bit of the grammatical understanding of hieroglyphs in case you're ever interested in learning. There's a lot of great books out there that help you grammar. So hope you enjoyed this video, and stay tuned for more drawing coming down the line.